Welcome to episode 59 of Around the Board, recorded on March 9th, 2025. This is a show where four board game enthusiasts discuss board games and board game topics. Today's show starts with a segment we haven't done in a while, Hot or Not, followed promptly by a little game you have heard of called Play Shelf Trade. After a quick commercial break, we discuss buying online versus at your friendly local game store. And at the end of the show, we might be visited by a few board game Karens. Here are your hosts, Daniel Goldfish Connors, John Rummy Theismann, Kelly Set McLaughlin, and Andy Seven Wonders Barnett. Welcome to Around the Board. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey,
Andy,
welcome
you
back,
are
Andy.
the seventh wonder of this world. That was a good name for you.
Something like that. I don't know.
It's that voice.
It is something
And-
you wonder about when you see me.
Yes, we wonder what he's going to say.
It's true.
And his one take ability to read the intro is also
It is
a
amazing.
wonder as well.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what
so-
I say. You know what I say.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
That's
Absolutely.
right. All right, guys. Well, we got a great show for you all about set collection. But before we jump into it, I do want to remind you all about FBC Game Con. It is a convention we run in Gardner, Kansas, April 11th and 12th. It is free, and we give away hundreds of board games. So come, if you're in the area, join us. Also, find us on
Shut up
Facebook
and take my
under
money.
under FBC Gamers / Around the Board, and participate in March Madness of board gaming. So I did the announcements early because we didn't talk about any intro that we wanted to
that's
speak
fine.
about.
Oh,
So I just took
just
over.
jam them in front of us. Just roll with it, baby.
I just want to make sure you said if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, get in the area for FBC
That's
Game
true.
Con because
That's
it's
right.
worth
Come
it.
on down.
Yeah,
Perhaps
we're
you
gonna have
can-
somebody from Michigan come and join us. Even
Is
So,
he taking a train?
No, he is not. But he
Because
is
it's
coming
not
to
the
a
year
con.
18XX. He's not taking a train.
Okay. I saw somebody do that recently. They took a train across the entire U.S. and played board games on it the entire time, and I thought that looks really freaking cool.
I wouldn't go that far.
Really?
As someone who's ridden on a train, I wouldn't go that far.
Are they not that nice? Can't you get like a nice cart?
Okay.
Nice
Let me
cart?
just say this. For as much as it costs to ride a train, you wouldn't think you would be riding with a bunch of people that look like they spent their last dime to get on there. And
Wow.
I mean,
You sure-
for real.
You sure you weren't on a Greyhound bus?
Yeah, that's what it's more like a bus ride. It's
Ooh,
really
boy.
not that elegant.
All right.
Maybe it was the train you went on, John.
Yeah, maybe you
there's
went
not a
down
lot
the-
of choices here in the States. You got a train and it's a train.
He got on the slow train or the soul train.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, this episode is already off the rails, so let's just
Oh,
jump into
well
it.
done. Well done. All right. You know why everybody's here, right? They're here to do this. Around the Board is all about debating different topics within tabletop gaming in 4 unique segments, each hosted by one of us. A manic and sadistic behind-the-scenes judge will award us points to anyone he chooses, in fact, even someone not on the show, perhaps, and maybe to those who assert the topics well as well. At the end of the show, whoever has the most points might be awarded 2 minutes to prattle on about something. Now, notice he wrote in the script might this
Might.
time, so maybe
Yes.
that won't even be awarded this time. Well, it's time to
Maybe.
play the game. Round 1. Fight!
All right, round one comes to me. That's a rare time I get to host the Hot or Not segment. It's been a while. So on the Hot or Not segment, we take a game that is considered the new hotness, and we all play it, and we decide, is this game really hot or is it not? And we're going to be the judge of that, baby. And today that game is River Valley Glassworks from All Play. This game has gotten a lot of play. It's gotten a lot of buzz, and it's gotten a lot of sales because it's in a lot of what you would not consider not hobby stores. It's in like Targets and Walmarts and things like that. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let's throw it to,
Hashtag not a sponsor.
thank you, Andy. But first, let's throw it to Daniel for a quick teach.
In River Valley Glassworks, you're going to play as an entrepreneurial woodland creature, gathering glass out of the river to start your enterprising ventures. On your turn, you're going to take one of two actions. You're either going to take a piece of glass from your pan and add it to the river, which is going to allow you to pull more glass out of the river. Or you can take glass out of the river to refill your pan, up to 5. When you place in the river, you're going to take one of your glass pieces. You're going to place it on the matching tile of that shape. So this is a triangle glass piece. I'm going to put it on the triangle tile. Once I've done that, I then choose if I'm going to pick the tile to the left or to the right. So if I pick this one here, I'm now going to put it into my player board. I have this turquoise, and I already have a turquoise on my board, so I'm going to place it right there above the one I already have. This dark blue piece is a piece I do not have yet, so it's going to continue from left to right. In this situation where I grab a tile that has a color that I'm already maxed out on, I will lose 3 points at the end of the game because I do not have the ability to store that anymore. Once your row is completely filled up, you can't take any more new colors. Once you've pulled from the river, you're going to remove the piece and stick it at the end of the river. Then you're going to refill that piece based on the number of rocks that that piece is pointing to. In this case, it's pointing to 1 rock, so I'm going to place 1 tile from the bag onto there. If you ever have 2 shapes of the same kind, like these are 2 hearts, that acts as a wild. I can put the 2 hearts on the heart tile or any tile that I want so that I can grab from any place that I want. Each player board comes with an add-on that helps you keep count of how many gems that you have in your board. Because once somebody has reached 17 gems, everyone's going to get 1 more turn and then the game is over. When the game is over, you're going to score your 2 highest columns. Column number 3 goes all the way to the top. So that is obviously my highest one. So I'm going to score 15 points. Then my next highest column is the last column, and I'm going to get 21 points for having that full up. And those are the 2 columns that are going to score. Now I can score every complete row that I have. So this bottom one is complete, so I'm going to get 22 points. The second row is not complete, but I have the first 3 filled in without any interruptions, so I'm going to get 4 points for that row. So the rows netted me 22 plus 4, so 26 points. Whoever has the most points wins.
And I'll start since it's my segment. And River Valley Glassworks, I got to tell you, is one of those games that, since All Play, they're not a sponsor, as Andy brought up, but they are kind of a friend of the show and some friends of ours. And because they're a local company here in Kansas City. And so I was like, you know what? This is supposed to be their, Andy would call it their mea culpa. It's supposed to be their
Magnus
their coup de
opus.
grace. This is supposed to be their,
Coup de grace.
really their kind of coming out party into the mainstream of
You're
America.
just making
So-
words up.
And
It's a
so,
big whoop-de-doo.
okay, who's supposed to be talking? Is my mic working?
Keep going. Keep going.
So I'm like, I'm going all in on this Kickstarter because, what the heck? Let's do it. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but let's do it. And so I did. I got the game, and wow, have I been pleasantly surprised. I think it was one of my most played, if not my most played game of the year last year. And it's one of those that it's really easy to get to the table, which always helps. And as you saw from the description, you're collecting different pieces of glass from the river, and it's the way you want to, what kind of glasses you get, where you put them, and you can like hate draft on other people. You can see what they're trying to get. You can take what they have. You can mess them up. You can put a piece of glass in there. Well, they need that. I'm going to put this in there that they can't use. That's going to cost them points, and I'm going to take the ones next to it. There's different ways. The game gets a lot deeper as you play it, if you ask me. I think it's a very light game on the surface. One of those games that as you play it more, you dig into it, and then you add the expansions. And the expansions will give you certain abilities maybe that you can use once a game. So you're playing in that. When is going to be the best time to use that? Maybe early, maybe late. Who knows? We'll see what comes up. And then there's other things where you're actually... other expansions where you're gathering different kinds of shapes. Usually you're just looking for the colors. Now you're looking for different kinds of shapes. So much going on with this game for such a simple game. As we used to say, as we're starting to say, it's an around the board French kiss. This game is hot, certified hot. I love it. And so there you go. River Valley Glassworks. Don't pass
You
it
said
up.
I believe you said at one point you're collecting different types of glasses. Is that right?
Yes.
So like bifocals.
You get your bifocals, you get your trifocals,
trifocals,
you get your readers. Yes.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses, exactly. Night vision, things
Should
like
be
that.
maybe our next parody.
Andy, why don't you wear glasses like us cool kids?
Oh,
Hey,
because I
Andy.
got LASIK a while back,
Ah.
which hasn't kept, by the way. My vision's back to bad again. I think.
Which that's
So
the
you're
expansion is River Valley LASIK Works.
Ooh, there it is.
But
There it is.
anyway, let's throw it to Kelly over here. Kelly, what did you think? I have a feeling you might be on the thumbs up and on the hot side of hot or not with this game, but we'll find out.
Well, this came out during a time I stopped being a super backer. So I
Ooh.
missed the fancy mancy schmancy game and I regretted it ever since Daniel pulled his out, and I was like, oh.
Oh,
For me, it is absolutely a gem. It's probably in one of my top 5 favorite all-play games. It's beautiful, it's engaging. The playtime's under 30 minutes, so you can get it in and several more on a play night, which is kind of where I'm at right now. I want to get several games in most times. It's very strategic, but it doesn't overstay its welcome. So for me, it's definitely very hot.
All right.
yeah. I like what you mentioned there about the short playtime, because I don't know how many times I've taught this to people, and the scoring is a little strange when you first are playing it. You're like, wait, I don't understand the scoring at the end. But you play it so quick, it's like, oh, now I understand it better. Let's go ahead and play it again. Most of the time, people want to turn around and just play it immediately again, which is really cool with the game.
And one
I'm
thing I
gonna
want to mention too, John,
ahead, Kelly.
is you said expansions. I believe it just has one expansion, just different modules in the expansion. Just
Well,
making sure
correct.
that's
It's like a
exactly-
set of expansions that's basically the size of a little small deck of cards is all it is, and it's different things that you'll pass out. You can play with multiple ones or whatever. So yeah. Technically, it's just one expansion. Correct.
So Kelly, I'm gonna be the old man Chris here for a second. You said you want to play this game because you could play it multiple times at the game night, and that's where you're at right now. Isn't it about the length and the quality of the game, not how many games you get in? Like, why would it matter if you could play this game, in 10 minutes? Like, how is that a bonus? I want to be there for like 5 hours playing a game.
Well, you and Chris can go play your 18XX with your older fellas. But us and the new hotness crew, we don't have time to spend a whole night on one game. We got to get through all the new games because there's 20, 30, 40, 100 games out almost every couple weeks. I mean, there's pressure to be like me and John here.
Okay,
And if,
now I
and
do
if you
want
want this game to last a long time, just play it with Andy, and you're fine.
That's
true.
a great example. I just want to say I was channeling Chris. Since Chris is not with us today, I
Yes.
had to just throw that out for him. I probably feel different than he does. So
He's screaming at the screen as we're taping this.
that's right.
All right, to
'Cause I
hear
have
more
him
of the
tied up back
same,
here.
let's go to Andy now.
Actually, that is incorrect. You are not
What?
going to hear more of the same. This Love Fest is coming to a halt.
Yeah.
That's right. River Valley Glassworks can go back in its box and go far, far
Whoa.
away. I really don't like it. I really did not find it that entertaining. I found it very mediocre at best. And I'm in a point in my life with gaming that it has to really wow me to be on my collection and be something I want to waste my time with. So I just didn't find it that entertaining or appealing. It was some set collection, yeah, but the components were weak. I thought the shapes and colors were hard to differentiate a little bit. I thought the little plastic pieces that were on the river reminded me of Niagara, which is a better game. There's just so many things that I just did not care for in this game. It's fine, but it's not great by any means. It's definitely not hot. It's definitely a not for me, and that's no offense to our friends at All Play who've marketed the game, and it seems like a lot of people enjoy it. But just count me as not one of them for some reason. I don't know.
And I
Okay.
think you need to delve into this whole shape thing because I think, all play usually goes for games that the whole family could play. So when they're like, hey, we're going to distinguish these by shapes, like usually people know the difference between a square and an octagon.
I believe
it's
it's
kind of common knowledge.
Square and octagon, sure, but I believe it's the triangle and the like arrowhead or something that's very similar.
The
Whatever. They're very similar. They're very and
hearts,
just
triangles, pretty much the same shape.
weak production, weak
Yeah.
game.
Okay.
Okay, the production part's what's killing me. That is one of
Yes.
the most beautiful enhanced games. The gems alone are so cool. And then you got the acrylic river. Like, what is your taste, man?
Not that.
Well,
Not
I will
that.
say the acrylic stuff is actually like the deluxeified version. So, but I still think, despite that, the
No.
cardboard pieces are still going to be great. Oh, tell us, John.
No, the glass pieces are the deluxe. The acrylic is just the normal.
I'm pretty sure the river is also part of the deluxe.
I thought the river
Oh, I
was
thought you meant
terrible.
the glass itself.
No,
Okay.
I meant
Yeah,
the acrylic.
pieces of
river
glass are
tiles.
glass in the deluxe, and they're
river.
acrylic in the other.
Oh
one.
my gosh, you guys are boring as. Ugh.
Anyway, the point
This
is,
is so
Andy,
horrible.
the point is, you can complain as much as you want about this game, but then the one thing that pretty much universally everybody would say is the production is amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
It makes
Okay,
me like I
well-
said. I'd rather play Niagara. You guys remember Niagara? Have you played Niagara?
I do remember Niagara. I remember how you bought the expansion before you bought the game.
Nothing wrong with that.
That was early in my gaming career.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's like,
at
I got
all.
this game for $3. It's like, great. Do you have the base game? He's like, oh.
What's a base game?
What's a base game?
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Randy. So let's get back to some actual common sense here.
Did you call me Randy?
No, because he popped the screen up. That's why.
Oh, I see.
He cut you off. So now this game is wonderful, and unlike yeah, dang you. Okay, unlike Chris, who I spoke for, I think quick games have a place in the hobby and in the game night, and this game is a gem when it comes to that sweet spot of like a 20-minute game. You can get this one played like 3 times and feel like you've had a great experience every 3 times. Also, the set collection in this game is really unique and fun. I think you kind of saw something like this in Near and Far and Above and Below, where you kind of wanted to stack the quality of your gems, and you had to decide, do you want common ones at the beginning or do you want the rare ones at the beginning? Because you kind of want those columns to get as high as possible, and you want it to be furthest away from the start. But there's really good choices there. Like, I played with my sister, and she truly like was gonna go, I'm gonna fill up as many rows as possible, and the entire game she put the rarest one at first as the first spot. The entire game she never got the second version of that color. So she had filled up 3 whole rows or close to it and only scored 1 row because she put the rarest one right at the beginning, and it cut her off completely. So those are fun choices that matter, and games that have choices that matter is what is important. So this game is definitely a success for me. I enjoyed it a lot. Also, I will say it was a pretty penny, and our friend Ryan Evans often would say that he's like, I like it a lot. I don't think I would have paid that price. And he could be accurate. If you really love overproduced games, then yeah, go for it. Drop $90. But if you don't, I think you'll be fine with the base game, and you'll probably have even more of an enjoyable experience with the base game at $40. There you go.
I don't know why. I wish I could verbalize better why I don't like this game, but I really just didn't hit anything for me. It was nothing special, and it just didn't.
I can verbalize it for you.
Yeah, game snob. For those listening at home.
All right.
One thing as we close it out, though, that I wanted to bring up is that it's been called the Splendor Killer, and I've never understood that because it gives me no
Splendor
feelings
also
of playing,
sucks.
It gives me no feelings of playing Splendor, playing this game at all. To me, it's the Azul Killer because it reminds me a lot more of Azul, where you're building patterns and all that and trying to score points with those, and you can hose people over by what you take and all that, just like you can in Azul. So to me, it's a better version of Azul. Daniel won't agree with that part, but
yeah, I would agree it's closer to Azul than Splendor, but no,
Yeah.
I really like Azul. I'm a big proponent of Azul, even though I haven't played it in years. But I could see the correlation.
Yeah.
The production quality of Azul, now that's top notch.
whatever.
pretty much-
Anyway,
Yeah. Just disregard the guy in the green corner.
exactly.
Whatever.
So with that, what did you think of River Valley Glassworks? I'm sure a lot of you out there have played it. Is it hot? Is it not? Is it somewhere in between? Or Chris used to say it's just or. He didn't think it was hot or not. But I don't really know what that means. That would mean not to me, but whatever. So let us know what you think in the comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Round 2. Fight.
All right. For the long-awaited Play Shelf Trade is a segment where we take 3 games and each choose out of those games which we would play right now, shelf to play later, and trade away for something better. Our 3 contenders for today are Sushi Go, Splendor, and Point Salad. Sushi Go, as you know, we talked about, is set collection. Some call it Wonder. Now I can't think of the name. What is that? Wonder. Seven Wonders.
Wonders?
Seven Wonders?
Or if you want something a little hungrier. Splendor, of course, is the gem collector. And Point Salad is all about collecting fruit for points.
That's what Andy does in his free time.
Lettuce, all what Andy.
Actually, isn't it vegetables, hence the
It's
salad?
vegetables. It's
Oh, yes, it's-
mainly vegetables, but
I
tomatoes.
believe there are tomatoes, so it is
Yeah.
fruit as
There
well.
we go. Start that age-old debate.
All right. Well, I'm going to start because it's my segment. So
how it
out of
works.
these, I have to say, these are all got memories for me. So it was kind of hard, because one of them I'm going to have to trade. So let's just pull that Band-Aid off. Sushi Go is going to be my trade only because I do own all three, by the way. Only because it's like I don't know the last time I've been able to pull that out. Like
Hmm.
literally, it's a game I really will only pull out if I want to get some people gaming that like still play Monopoly and still think Taboo's all there is to gaming. And so like that's a great starter. They think it's cute. It's got fun little combos. But most, seasoned gamers are gonna, tip their noses at it like, "Nyeh." And then my play would be Splendor. For
Okay.
me, one of the first game groups I had, Splendor was one of our first games. And boy, I wish I started tracking my games and we had that app back then because I bet it might be my most played game of my lifetime. And then my brother picked it up too, and it's one of his favorite. He's not a gamer. So this is one when he comes to visit, I pull it out and we play it. So that's going to be my play. But what will never leave my collection is point salad. So that is absolutely going to stay on my shelf. I don't care if you just started playing games, never played a game, or are a seasoned gamer. This is a quick hitter, palate cleanser, end of the night. You play it real quick and easy. It's pretty much easy to understand. Every once in a while, some people get a little bogged down with the beginning and how it works. But once you get sailing, it's such a good game. I love it. Still fun to play. It's second most played game the year it came out, and it still hits the table for me.
Yeah,
Nice.
I thought point salad was going to end up being your shelf just because you're a big fan of it and all the iterations thereof, and it's one I forget to bring and to pull out when I have people over. Like you're saying, it's great, especially end of the night. Like it's like you got about 20 minutes. Let's throw this thing out. It's a fun, and there's some good decisions there about scoring cards and fruits and your vegetables, which ones you're going to keep, which ones you're
Yeah,
going to
but
use.
if you have 20 minutes, why play that and not River Valley Glassworks? Come on.
It's it's quicker than River Valley Glassworks.
A little easier to count, maybe.
Yeah, especially if people already know it.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised how much Kelly likes the Point Salad game. That came out during our anticipated games of 2025 because Point Galaxy is coming out, and she told us how much she loved Point Salad. And gotta admit, I was a little surprised by your how high you elevate that game. I think it's fine. I think it's good, but like,
Wait a minute. It's not your turn. It's
No,
not
I'm
your
asking
turn.
Kelly. I'm
Oh,
asking
you're
Kelly,
taking
you
over.
fool.
You're taking over there. You're taking over.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Andy, would you like to take your turn
Gosh.
now?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I feel it's very appropriate for me to do so because I'm next in order. So I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to be a negative Nancy on this show, and I've already started to be that way. I feel like I've kind of taken up Chris's mantle. But unlike Chris, when I say games are bad, I will give you examples of games that are good, that are better, in fact. So, for instance, this list of set collection games: Sushi Go, Splendor, and Point Salad. Oh, weak.
You chose one
Didn't
of
you
them,
suggest
Andy.
one of these games?
I did suggest one of them, but the others that could have made the list include games like Jiper, Priests of Ra, Luxor, Comic Book Hunters, Century Road. Century Road's not really a set collection, is it? Is it? Well, yeah, kind of is. Kind of is. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like Splendor is.
Yeah. So there you have it. Those are all games that would have been better on this list, probably. But let's get to play shelf trade. I will play Splendor again just to give it another shot. But like I said, if it's going to be Splendor, I would rather just do Century Road, Gollum Edition. That's more fun than Splendor for me. But Splendor, I'll play it and give it another shot. It's been years, whatever. Going on the shelf, that is definitely Sushi Go. Sushi Go. That has been a staple for me to get people into playing games. It's a nice gateway game, and it's a lot of fun. And if you got the party version, you got some nice replayability with some different setups and whatnot. So I haven't played the dice game yet. I've heard that's pretty good too, though. So got to try that. Sushi Go will stay on the shelf, and then I'm gonna ship away Point Salad. Unfortunately, it wasn't a big hit with me. It's fine. But it was just Now, I will say I did order off eBay the Korean Pokemon Point Salad because I think I can get my kids into it because it's Pokemon.
That he heard about on this show, apparently.
You know there's no English in it, Andy.
I heard there was no English, so I'm a little worried. But we'll make it through. We'll make it through.
It's okay.
Google
All you have to
Translate.
do is take a marker and just write underneath it.
Stickers,
Yeah.
at least. Nice stickers. And Andy,
I've got some good Korean friends I can get to
for me.
translate for me. So.
There you go.
So there you
Just
go.
call them over anytime you play.
That's right. Oh, hey, we're gonna play this again, so need you here.
Andy keeps losing. I don't understand.
All
Anyway,
right, well,
that's my play shelf trade.
I'm going to call shenanigans. It's okay to keep my times going. I'm going to call shenanigans on Andy saying that he doesn't like Sushi Go or whatever he said it wasn't good for this list. One, it was his choice. And two, it is my trade because of Andy. He made me play this game like 20 times in a row. Every time I went to his house, he's like, it's Sushi Go time. And it came to a point where I was like, Andy, if I see Sushi Go one more time, I'm not going to game with you ever again. Like this game broke me on light games. I used to like this to be like, how many games in the night can I play? And then I just went on a streak of Sushi Go and I was like, you know what? I'm only going to play 5-hour games from here on out. It's like,
I think I just counted 8 times that you mispronounced the game, which is
Sushi Go.
pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Sushi Go.
Sushi
Go.
You Sushi. Okay, and then we got for my play, I'm gonna put Splendor. Now you would have thought Splendor was gonna be my trade because I dislike it so much, but I used to love it. I kind of grown apart from it once I realized I sucked really bad at it. Splendor is a me problem. It's not the game problem. But I'm going to play the Marvel Splendor. That's why it's on my play. I do want to play that one. It's on my shelf. Got it from Andy, and I'm excited to get it played to see the differences. And then my my shelf is going to be Point Salad because it actually kind of everything Kelly said about it. You can get it out real quick. It plays fun and simple. It's kind of mindless. You kind of just sit there. It's definitely a game that you talk with your friends while you're playing it. The other two games, maybe not Sushi Go, but Splendor for sure. It's a little bit more of a thinker and you really got to plot and strategize. Not with Point Salad. You just grab a card and go. Like that's what you want in a quick drafting game.
By the way, I'm still waiting since I gave you that Marvel Splendor for a mattress in return.
Was
we
this the
can't
infamous
always
mattress
trade
trade?
games for mattresses.
I don't know if have we talked about that on the show?
We talk about it all the time.
Okay. For those of you that are just joining us for the first time, Daniel needed a new mattress kind of last minute, and I had an extra one, and I said, well, but trade me a game for it. And he gave me Tyrants of the Underdark. Best trade I've ever made. Best trade
That
I've
is a
made.
good trade.
Okay,
Good trade. All right. Speaking of trade, I'll get into my play shelf trade. This is tough because these are all games right about that same level of enjoyment, right about that same level of what would you call complexity, and a lot about the same level of I don't know of about everything. They feel a lot alike, and so I'm thinking my shelf is going to have to be Splendor, just because it is a little different, especially when you add the expansion set. If you haven't played with the expansion set, it comes with like 4 expansions in it, and you can throw in more than one if you want to, and it really changes up the game a lot to make it feel a lot different. And so and plus I got the mat, I got the neoprene mat, so that's not going anywhere. So Splendor is definitely going to be on my shelf. It's too good, and it's too good with those. And then the metagaming you can do when you see what other people are going for, is really awesome. Point Salad, as I said before, that's going to have to be my play. I kind of forgot about playing it, and that's the problem. It gets thrown up there with the small games, and you don't think about it. You go to Cole Games, and you're like, no, that's a good game. I'm going to keep it, but then you never play it. So that's going to be my play. I'm going to try to remember to bring that out the next time I have people to play games. That's going to be on the list. So that means kind of by default, even though I like it, Sushi Go is going to have to go and I guess if there's a legitimate reason to do it is I don't eat sushi, and it's or sushi. And there's the theme of what goes with what in the game. I have a feeling makes sense if you eat sushi, and I don't eat sushi, so I don't know why if you have this weird sounding thing, you need this weird sounding thing to go with it, because I don't eat weird sounding things. So that's the only problem I have with the game. I mean, it's a fun game to play. I have to find a reason to hate on it, and so that's my reason, is it's about eating raw fish, and I don't like weird things living inside of me. So Sushi Go got to go. That's my play shelf trade.
Wow. I just had an epiphany about a reskin of Sushi Go as Slushy Go.
Ooh.
Yeah, would you put wasabi on your slushy?
No. You put extra sugar. I don't know.
Ew.
Or extra ice.
Chocolate syrup.
Sugar.
You'd have straws instead of chopsticks.
That's right. Exactly.
This game's making itself. I'm writing
one
it
of those
down.
It'd be the straw with the red straw with the little spoon at the end. That
There you
get
go.
At, like 7-Eleven.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
I like this. This is a rare good idea from you, Andy. I like
Slushy Go.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for a commercial break. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Wait, you don't say that. They say that.
I don't know.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That works.
FBC Game Con is almost here, and guess what? It's absolutely free to attend. But you might want to bring a little extra cash to take your experience to the next level. With amazing vendors like JTP Games, Gaming at Joe's, Emily Stuff, Peculiar Games and Hobbies, and Meeple-a-thon, you'll find plenty of cool must-have items to keep for yourself or to donate to a good cause. Feeling hungry? We've got you covered. The FBC Youth Group will be selling snacks and drinks. Smoke and Soul will be there serving up delicious bites on Saturday, and celebrities will be there on both Friday and Saturday. Want to up your game? Grab extra raffle tickets, snag a t-shirt, or even bid on a high-dollar auction item. While you can have a blast for free, bringing a bit of cash means you won't have to miss out on all the extras that make FBC GameCon even more epic. So plan ahead and get ready for a weekend of fun, food, and fantastic finds.
Round 3, fight! So what are we talking about now? In this segment, we're going to talk about buying online versus your friendly local game store, a topic of controversy, frankly. And people like to, I've noticed people like to virtue signal about this. Have you noticed that? People totally like to, I would never buy from Amazon because I support my friendly local game store. And the truth is, I do like supporting friendly local game stores, but I don't like it when they're marked up incredibly high on prices. Unless they've got a valid reason to do so. And they do have a valid reason in one case. And the problem is there's not very many of these that do this anymore. And that is someone that really is a concierge, a game concierge when you go into the store. When I first got into the hobby, there was a store called 31st Century Games and a guy named Joe who ran that store. And I to this day, I credit him to getting me into the hobby because what happened is we came into the store and I think we knew about Settlers of Catan. And, he knew that. We talked about that. And he's like, well, have you tried this? Have you tried this? And had suggestions and was willing to teach them to us and willing to just bring us in and nurture us and hold us. And well, maybe not hold us, but he brought us along in the hobby and it was so good. He was so good at that. And every time we'd come in, we'd be like, well, I liked this, but I didn't like this. And he goes, oh, well then here, I know you're going to like this, but you won't like this. And just a real hands-on experience for a local game store. And that's what I want to see out of a friendly local game store. So I want to see that kind of courtesy, that kind of care. If that's the case, I'm more than happy to pay a higher price. But I'm not going to virtue signal either. There's times I bought on Amazon. There's times I bought on Miniature Market. There's times I bought on places that are significantly cheaper. And I'm not ashamed to say that that's okay too. So I go a little bit both ways, if you will.
Whoa.
So what I'm hearing, Andy, if you want to go support a friendly local game store, they have to be able to hold you and touch you and hug you, because that was the biggest compliment I heard you say for 31st century.
I got to say that it is a form of it's completely legal in some states. I think you can do that at board game stores in Nevada.
They didn't have cuddle rooms.
Sounds like a game store that Deshaun Watson would go to.
Yeah. That's sports ball for those of you that don't know what we're talking about.
Right.
That's some sports ball references.
I don't know.
And Justin Tucker, maybe.
Possibly.
More sports
All
ball
right.
references.
Hey,
You guys
back to
ruined
board
it.
games.
We don't know about sports ball. I do know about buying board games. And I would really prefer to buy them at my friendly local game store. It was not always the case. There was a time where I would try to buy them online, but it was a trap. Okay, guys? Buying online is a trap. All of the popular game stores out there, you know what they do, right? They're like, if you spend $100, you get free shipping. You'll save $7. So what do? You buy the game you wanted for $30, and then you buy $70 more worth of games to get free shipping. You know who's never done that to me? My friendly local game store. I walk in and I go, hey, I want this game. And they're like, great, here you go. And I walk out spending exactly the amount that I thought I was going to spend. Unless they say you should also buy this, and I go, oh, okay, I'll buy that one too. But they have to ask, and they don't always ask. But when you do online, they're doing it all the time. They're always pushing you to buy more. And also, this is my warning for Amazon. This is not virtual signaling, Andy. Okay, this is legitimate criticism. Do not buy your games from Amazon. I had bought 3 copies of Marvel United, not on purpose, because one of them came with the split shipping label right on the cover. And I was like, well, that's not great. So I sent that one back. Next one came in a bag, in a little paper bag. I opened that thing and it was dented and dinged. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I sent it back and then I went and bought it from the store because I was like, this is ridiculous. And lately, every time I buy from Amazon, I don't know if it's going to be the real one, if it's going to be a knockoff, if it's going to come in a plastic bag. Come on, guys, go support your local game stores. Also, if you use the local game stores to like play games at, 100% you need to be supporting them. Do not go there and expect them not to like want you to buy something. You should buy at least something, or don't use their space. They're a business.
Again, though, I stick by what I said. I'd like to see a little bit of customer service from some of the friendly local game stores. I'd like to see them really get in there and try and take an interest in what you want. I'm
Leave
serious.
something for the rest of us to say.
This is important thing. This is
Leave something for the rest of us to say. Maybe we're going to talk about that.
And by the way, I for one support our overlords like Jeff Bezos.
There you go.
All right. Apparently, John's itching to say something that Andy was about to say.
Okay. Very echoing Daniel a little bit, but on my own here is that the friendly local game store needs to have the emphasis on friendly, which was kind of what Andy was getting at there. If they have the emphasis on friendly, then they're going to get my money. And we've got a couple of them here in the Kansas City area that do that. And when I first got into the hobby, I was attracted to the online because it was cheap and because I didn't know a lot of games. And I'm like, oh, that game looks good and it's cheap. I'm going to go ahead and get it. And then you get a good deal and you get a game and the game's no good because online is just online. It's whatever it is. But if you go to your friendly local game store and they kind of curate what they have out there, they don't try to put garbage out there for you to buy, then you might end up with something that you'd never heard of. Like when I went into the local game store recently and picked up Creature Caravan that came out last year that looks exactly like a John game and I never heard of it. But I mean, if they hadn't had it in their store, I still wouldn't have heard of it. But I went in their store and I bought it. And there you go. And they're friendly and they're awesome. And then some of them will give you points where you can, instead of your free shipping or whatever, you're getting points on purchases in the future. A couple of them in town do that. And then to echo what Daniel said though, too, if you're going there to meet up and play games with people, buy some snacks, buy some drinks, buy some whatever they offer, buy an expansion to a game, something like that to give them a reason to have you in the store. But yes, now I'm very much into the FLGS rather than the online as much. I do have a couple things in a cart somewhere on one of these online things, but it takes forever for me to fill up to get the free shipping, and that's fine. It's ones I know I'm going to play, but I get cheap. Hang on to them for a while, and then we'll have them shipped. That's why I have every once in a while my awesome unboxing where I can't remember what I ordered because it takes so long for me to get that much in there. So
now, John, you just seem like a sucker to me, is what I think.
And why is that?
Because you said I will. I found this game because it was on the shelf.
Yeah.
That's not a reason to like a game. You need somebody to tell you about the game and see whether you like it. You need to test it and play it. That's what I like about friendly local game stores is you can play test stuff.
True. But I read the back of the box and it sounded like a me game. It's a tableau building game with dice mitigation, dice management, and all that stuff, dice placement. Oh, and simultaneous play. Oh my gosh. Take my money.
Oh, so boring.
And hey, Andy, since you're the only ones that it's the oldest here right now, there's this thing on your phone called Board Game Geek that you can look up while you're shopping at a game store. It tells you stuff.
I bet you do that to Price Match, don't you? You horrible person, you.
Hey,
and I'm not the oldest. John is way older than me.
But you're acting old.
That's funny. She convinced me you were older than John. But that's so funny. Hey, no, but John brought up something that I did want to before we get into Kelly's thoughts. Dang it, I lost it again. I always do that.
Never interrupt.
Oh, okay. When you go to a game store, I always like to have like a list of games in my head that are like, these are game store games, things that are like going to be $20 or less. That way, if I see it, I can like go buy it and support them in that way. Gotcha. So I'm not buying a $60 board game every time I walk in, but I'm like, if they have this $15 game, I'm going to grab it. Like Board Salad, maybe that's one on your mental list.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah,
is that a TV show?
List.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mentalist.
Kelly, tell us about Mentalist. Go.
All right. Okay, so I also do both, and here's my reasoning. Game stores like our local Mission Board Games, like I mentioned, have wonderful reward system. So every time you buy, you're accruing some money off. It feels like a nice little discount, and they're super friendly there. So I definitely go there a lot. And then there's another game store I really like that has consignment. Ooh. And that's kind of unusual. Some game stores are afraid to go there because they feel like they're, undercutting their own stuff. but they do it very well. They have the best top games, and then you can get some games maybe you missed and help somebody sell their games. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but I agree it's hard because, if you have a board game store, you have so many more overhead costs, you're paying rent and, displays, a whole nine, and that's probably why they can't go as deeply discounted. So that is a great way. Like, hey, we've all had the game store we used to play at or still visit, we definitely want to support that too. But, it's hard to hit the kind of deep discounts you can find online. Now, I also agree with Daniel with the shipping thing. It is funny because you literally will be going there for a $30 game. They're like, oh, I got to spend $100.
Yeah.
But there is an online establishment, Game Nerds, that actually has a hold process.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're not the only ones.
And they actually let you buy one game at a time and put it on hold till you hit that threshold. So that's kind of something interesting I just learned. So it's like a mixed bag. It's like, you want to just support the hobby in general. And I think everyone's trying to make money. They're all businesses. I just think
That's
have
nuts.
a bit of both.
I don't know how you
Mixed
people
bag of
can,
nuts.
I don't know how you people could take advantage of that. I'm going to buy a game and let them hold on to it for 6 months. I don't have the patience. I want that game now because there's a spot on my shelf that isn't full and I need it to be in there.
See,
Because I'm not actually going to play the game.
This is why we can't take you to Gen Con anymore.
Oh my gosh.
And there's no spots on your shelf. That's a lie.
You're right.
I think the first day at Gen Con last year, Daniel was in there 20 minutes and he was like, I have 4 garbage bags full of games. Where can I put these? I was like,
yes,
dude.
But I bought very little for the rest of the week.
Oh, really?
Just a couple
Okay.
more games.
That's good.
Good for you.
You should
Like 4 or
see my
5 more
Geekway
games.
hauls.
Well, what do you guys think out there? What do you think about buying from your friendly local game store versus online and the machine, the corporate? Ugh. Tell us what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and support your friendly local game store.
Speaking of virtual signaling.
Oh, yeah. That's what I do, baby.
Virtue. I think I said virtual.
You did. Virgil.
You did say virtual.
Hey, Virgil, over here. That's
Virgil. Final round. Let's get it on.
All right, guys. We are about to do the game that everybody asks for, everyone demands, and that is Board Game Karen. Did we ever figure out the points to make this fair? I don't think we did,
so.
but it doesn't matter. I'm going to read what's on the screen, and we're going to go with it. Daniel's going to read 3 one-star quotes from Board Game Geek of the same game, 1 quote at a time. And if someone gets it right during round 1, they get 3 points. If someone gets it right during round 2, they get 2 points. And if they get it right during the 3rd round, they get 1 point. And I, Daniel, gets 1 point for every person who did not get the answer correctly.
Is this still broken for you? I think it is.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Daniel gets 9
again,
points, and we all get a smattering.
No. The most points I can get is 3. And if you guys were good at the game, then
we
yeah.
can't get 3.
Oh, wait, I could
want
get
an
9 points.
asterisk point.
Doesn't matter. Be better at the game. Let's go, guys.
All right, what you got?
So this one has a little bit of a theme, but I'm
Oh.
going to tell you the theme at the very end, and you guys can guess what it is, because the theme is not helpful at all. Okay, that's the first clue.
I find that hard to believe.
Right? Okay, you guys ready? Here's the first
Sure.
game. Clue 1, game 1 comes from Sven. He says, "Wow, hideous graphics, the worst possible theme, combined with one of my least favorite mechanisms, grid covering. The game certainly isn't for me. I usually love drafting, but here it's just painful. The game makes me puke, literally." I don't know if he knows what literally means, or I really do want to know the story behind that. Kelly, this is the first time you've done a board game, Karen. So this is purposefully a little challenging. There's little clues in there, but it's the chances of you getting it right the first time is going to be hard. But
I
write
never
down.
watched the show before till I started, so
There you go. All right, John, you were first. What's your guess for the first clue?
This has been lambasted, not land-blasted, but lambasted a lot by Chris. And I'm going to say it's New York Zoo.
All right. Andy? Oh, actually, sorry. Bingo! You might be onto something. Kelly,
said
what you
bingo.
got?
That's grid coverage.
this is for Andy. Wonderland's War.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of grid coverage.
Grid coverage
on there.
in Wonderland's
All right. Well, one of you had
I
one of you
heard
had a
Rocky.
good guess. I'm gonna let you guys figure out who it was at the end. All right, the next clue. An unbelievably bloated experience that's fundamentally a simple tile placement game, made worse by some truly weird lore. Comes in completely unnecessary giant box too. Kelly, I will start with you. What do you got?
Yo Mama.
Yo,
No, it's Yo-Yo.
you're not taking this seriously. All right, Andy, what do you have? Okay, I am Say it.
I am flummoxed.
I think it's
Okay.
flummoxed.
Oh,
All right, you guys can't even guess. You guys are losers. All right.
you lost me at grid.
You lost
John.
me at lore.
Yeah.
John, what's your guess?
Isle of Cats.
See, now John is at least thinking of actual games. All right, we got one more, guys.
Woo,
One
woo,
more.
I got it.
And this one is from Andy Piemont.
He's on
Andy
the show.
says, I can't say I was expecting anything from the game, but it's still disappointing how derivative it is. Jamming together a load of popular modern Euro elements and then trying to mix both pirates and cats together as the lick of paint on the whole thing. Presumably, if it came out in 2024, then it would be talking animals on Arrakis instead.
There you go.
All right. I think you guys figured it out this time. Hopefully. We're going to start with Andy.
Isle of Cats.
There you go. Okay. Well, we'll see if that's right or not. Kelly?
I would write that, but I'm going to be my own woman. Smash up.
Smash up. Good guess. Good guess. John?
I'm staying with Isle of Cats.
Staying with Isle of Cats. See, John has done research on this game and he's finally figured it out. So John is going to get 2 points because he is correct. It was Isle of Cats and he got it right twice. Andy got it right once, so he's going to get 1 point. And Kelly got it right 0. So that means I get 1 point because she did not get it. See, is this more fair now, Andy? Do you get how this works? You got to be good at the
No,
game.
I still don't. I really actually don't
Paid me
understand.
to guess
it.
wrong, Andy or Daniel.
Yeah, the check's in the mail. Don't worry.
This just goes to show you why paying attention to theme helps, because once the guy talked about what the weird theme is of this game, it is a stupid theme to this game. That's
Yeah.
correct.
To
And
be
the
fair,
very
I have
weird
not
lore.
played. I have not ever played Isle of Cats.
Ah, that doesn't surprise me with your taste, Andy.
We'll play it next week.
Okay.
We'll play it live.
Yes.
All right. Second game. And I'll give you a clue. Andy has played this game.
Ooh.
Okay. Presumably, the appeal of this game is the tactility of handling wooden pieces in a bag. But why bother when you can much of the same experience in a better game anyways? Or just play a dexterity game instead. Horrible experience of unbelievable, unbearable length, briefly punctured by 3 or 4 amusing moments. One of these involving a knight humping the leg of a cheese wheel. Such are the meager joys of this game.
That last one threw me.
Bag and a.
It usually
hump and a
does.
knife?
Uh,
Is this like a bag?
John,
I went
what
with
do you have?
Orléans.
Orleans. Okay. Andy?
Orleans.
Orleans. Kelly, what do you have?
Wax of Quedlinburg.
Quetzalcoatlinburg. All right. We'll see if either of you 3 are correct. And I accidentally read 2 on accident. So if Andy and John are right, they're going to get 3 points because my bad. All right. So here's the last clue. Last clue. And this is from Andy Piemont. You might have,
Again.
that name might sound familiar
Man.
to you.
This guy's really a thorn in the side.
So Andy says, so if you thought Dominion is too streamlined, elegant, and too reminiscent of a collectible card game, here it's done in an old school Euro vibe with one of the drabbest visuals ever, worse than Concordia. There are progression spreadsheet charts filling the board. There's a lot of stuff arranged in neat lines, waiting to be picked up, and somewhere in the air there hovers at least an impression of choice, as is the trend in dreary Euros these days.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Now I'm hosed.
I'm really glad my life is not on the line here.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. John, what do you have?
I went with an old standby, Keyflower.
Keyflower. All right. It's a dreary Euro. And Chris would agree with you. Kelly, what's your guess?
I don't know. I'm switching to Orleans.
All right. And Andy?
I'm sticking with Orleans.
Way for you two to stick to your convictions, or in Kelly's case, someone else's convictions, because it was indeed Orleans.
That
So
last
I
one
actually
made
get-
no sense.
Yeah, well, it said it was as if you're playing Dominion. But if you didn't want it to be like a collectible card game, that implies there were chips involved. And it's a dreary Euro that's worse than Concordia.
I could see
That's
where he
not
went with
1,000
Keyflower,
different games.
because those are also wooden meeples you draw out of
Yes.
the bag. But
Man. Dang it, I had it.
Choke, John.
Yep.
Yep. So John's going to get 1 point, Andy's going to get 3, and Kelly's going to get 1. So there we go. All right. Now for our last one. And our first clue is from Andy Piedmont.
Gosh.
could you just replace me with this guy already?
No, okay. In all seriousness, guys, I picked 3 random games. I was thinking, hey, what are some set collection games? And I went for set collection. And then this guy's name just kept appearing on everything I looked at. I was like, he's giving ones to like every game that I looked at. It was insane. All right.
Maybe he
But
doesn't like set collection.
apparently not. Not his game. Okay. So, but then I diverged. This is not necessarily set collection, because Orleans isn't really set collection. Kind of is, but regardless. All right. Andy says, I was a bit blown away on the first rules learning via the very flashy but largely well done stream map. With the number of different rules that need to be introduced, every time I thought, well, at least I've learned the game now, a new concept instead of worker placement spaces were introduced. I find the idea that many players play this game with multiple expansions utterly incomprehensible. The base game is already cracking at the seams. It needed systems, space, and card types to be removed, not added, if it were truly to become a great game.
Can I phone a friend?
You have a lifeline left?
Kelly, we're going to start with you. What do you have?
Cascadia.
Cascadia? That's
It's
a good
on my
guess.
shelf.
I didn't
right.
remember that being one of the clues.
John.
I went with viticulture, even though it's wrong.
Okay. You don't know that. You can't see my screen.
I'm
Andy?
pretty sure it's wrong.
I went with a game I played recently, Civolution.
Okay. All right.
Civolution.
That's 3 guesses.
That's what
all right.
they are,
Next
all right.
clue. Next clues is from Hayes. He says the deck building is dull. The resource conversion is dull. The worker placement is worker placement. The bidding battles could be more exciting. It's just a mishmash of stuff. Well, at least the scores usually stop around 12 points. There are so many clues in that one. If you guys can't figure it out, that's
I got
on
it.
you.
I think I got it.
All right, we're going to go with the least confident person, Kelly.
Ouch. Maybe I'm confident in my bad answer.
Your own skin.
Okay, yeah. What is it? What's your bad answer?
Well, I'm going back to Wonderland Wars.
All right. Hey, it's at least deck building. Is
It
it?
sure
Okay.
sounds like it.
Now it's
Andy.
bag building, but
Well, same thing. Andy, what
not
you
at
got?
all. I got Dune Imperium.
Okay.
That terrible
And so
game.
did John.
As did I.
All right. Well, let's listen to the third clue and see if you guys stick with your answers or change to Kelly's. This is one of the most overrated board games in existence. It's very random with a lot of luck of draw, which are combo-y factors doubled down on the issues. Unbalanced powers and very long for what it is. I guess the art and the IP are the only positive points.
Ah,
Wow.
that should have been the first clue.
What, the art and IP?
Well, he makes it easy as it goes.
Now I totally get it.
I mean, the art and IP, it could have been Age of Heroes, because that art and IP is top notch.
But nobody's heard of it, so there's probably no ratings on it.
There probably is. It's all me going.
This is a
Why
throwback
wasn't
to-
this better?
This is a throwback to, I think, episode 1, but my favorite IP is Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence.
Gosh.
All right, Andy, did you pick that game?
No, I stuck with Dune Imperium.
All right, John, what'd you do?
I changed my mind and went with Dune Imperium.
Okay, wait.
That's
And Kelly, did you
Went
make me
with the
lose no?
clue that finally told me what you were talking about.
That's the idea.
Whatever. You just looked off of their paper. You know it. It's Dune Imperium. That's right. Hey, are you happy, Andy? You know how many points you got that round? Like 4. You know how many I got? 1. So I don't
Nice.
want to hear any more excuses about why you guys lost the game and I won. That's right. I won today's game.
Daniel.
I was waiting for Andy to yell at me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's Board Game Karen. Let us know how well you did. Did you pick up on the clues faster than Kelly did? If so, rub it in her face. But now we're going to move on to the winner of the show, Andy, at a very respectable, commendable lead, even after complaining about the rules of Board Game Karen. He comes in on top at 21. Andy, tell us what's been on your mind lately.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. One thing I'm going to talk about is my profession of voice acting. There have been a couple of heroes of mine in voiceover that have passed away recently. So one would be John Irwin, who was the voice of He-Man and Masters of the Universe. I grew up with his voice as an iconic hero. The other is the guy who played Space Ghost in Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and his name would be George Lowe. And he not only did that, he played the dad on The Brack Show and several other voices as well. And rest in peace, guys. Those guys are monumental, inspirational voice actors that I enjoyed growing up. So I just wanted to pay a little tribute to them here with my 2 minutes. And I don't really think I can fill it much more than that, which probably is good for the guests, good for everybody. So I will start wrapping things up soon.
You just wanted to use
I
1 minute of
will
silence?
do that now.
Gosh.
You will see when I'm done because
Andy,
I
that's
will-
about enough.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm
and
done.
I agree. What's good for the guests is good for the gander, just like you were saying there. That's very good. But wasn't I thought Dave Irwin was that wilderness expert?
Oh, gosh. The crocodile
I said John
hunter.
Irwin, and you're thinking of Jim Irwin.
Ah, is that what it is? Okay, gotcha.
Lots of Irwins out there. No,
Yes.
you're thinking of Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. Whatever.
Thank you for all that.
Yes.
Yep.
He's trying to be. I love how he tried to be very respectful, and then it just devolved really quickly.
This
Good
is John's
job,
fault.
Andy.
It's all John's
It's
fault.
my fault. It is.
Yeah, we'll blame John this time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got birthdays today. Play that music,
Oh my
white
God.
boy. All right. Today, Res Arcana came out in 2019 and is 6 years old. Res Arcana is a set collection game with a little bit of engine building, and it is spectacular. Highly recommended.
All right, I'm going to take Draftosaurus since Sean isn't here. And Draftosaurus in 2019 came into life. And it's 6 years old. Draftosaurus has nothing really to do with dinosaurs. It's all about drafting different colors of whatnots. But it's still a fun game. Draftosaurus, happy 6th birthday.
Well, I'm going to take Andy.
Go for it.
Is 2023 at 2 years old. There you go.
There you go.
All right, there you go. And then I'm going to take Sleeping Gods, the Behemoth game that was given to me not too long ago, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
It's a Red Raven game. Amazing artwork. Some say it's Ryan Lockett's best game. The only downside I see to it is that it is a co-op.
Does me a
Hey, you can play it solo.
Okay. There you go. Oh, by the way, it's exactly 4 years old today.
Thank you.
There we go.
Or not today,
All
but
right.
this month.
Yes.
This month. It is impossible to find out when the game's actually released. I've done a lot of research. This is a tough thing to figure out. I've even reached out to publishers, and they're like, we don't know. I'm like, thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Like, why do you care?
I know. Andy, read the room.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks to all our wonderful viewers out there. Remember to tap those like and subscribe buttons, and also be sure to join our Facebook group, Around the Board. Some people were saying earlier that I kind of sound like George Lowe, Space Ghost. I'm Space Ghost. Do I sound like him?
Oh, yeah.
do.
Maybe a little.
You sound like you're saying you're Space Ghost, so yeah.
I am. So join us on our Facebook group, Around the Board, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
Check us out on Anchor.
Ooh,
And
Or
next time
other
we'll
social
see
media.
you
around the board.
around the board.
Show's over. Show's over.
Is there any
Where's my
exiting-
agent? Where's my agent?
No, boys. If we're going to get people talking about this show, we need a real controversy. Zorak, tongue kiss Moltar.
What? No way!
Yeah, I'm with him. Just not in that way. Oh, well, you guys are a lot of help. Thank you very much.